What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 144, and we start today's episode off with a game against Aston Villa here in the Barclays Premier League. And once again, you can see we have so many fitness problems right now, so we have to rest a large chunk of our players. But of course, this game is a really big one here at Villa Park, because Aston Villa, as you'll see by the league, are sitting in 5th place. We are sitting in 4th place. We are 3 points ahead of them, and this is a crucial battle in the race for 4th. So a very big game here. We beat Swansea on the weekend by 2-0 at White Hart Lane, so that was good motivation. And of course, before that, we beat PSG in that dramatic 3-0 victory at White Hart Lane to see us through to the Europa League semi-finals. And despite the fact the Europa League has been a very good competition for us this year, very dramatic, we certainly don't want to be playing it next year. We want to be playing the Champions League. So that's why this game is crucial for us to qualify for the Champions League, because if we lose this game, Villa go level with us on points, and it's going to look very bad for us. But in the 9th minute, the first chance will come to us as Connor Wickham gets past his man. Koulibaly back heels it, and John Joe Anderson almost scored a fantastic skill shot there. Unfortunately, Guzan made the save, and it was still 0-0. In the 11th minute, another good chance. Chalobah crosses this ball in, and Townsend's bicycle kick just goes wide. So the early pressure was put on Aston Villa by us, so very good start. However, in the 25th minute, we almost had a disastrous goal here conceded. Burke gets on the ball for Villa, gets past his man, shoots, but he just puts the ball wide. So I think it's Graham Burke, or it's Burke anyway. Burke has a great chance, and he puts the ball wide. So Villa still level here, and Villa had to win this game. You know, they couldn't just have a draw. They need to win this game, and to be honest, they didn't get off to a very good start. In the 33rd minute, it could have got disastrous. Koulibaly wins the ball here, gets past his man, but this shot is brilliantly saved by Guzan. What a stop by the American goalkeeper there, as Koulibaly gets past the last defender. His shot is brilliantly deflected onto the bar via his left boot there, so great save by Guzan to keep the score scoreless. And from the corner, Anderson looks for Wickham. It's headed away. Tom Carroll wins it here. Flicks the ball forward towards Towns. Towns gets on the ball and shoots. It's a good block. Villa go on the counter. Really good chance for them eventually as they work their way up the pitch. It comes to Burke. Burke gets on the ball and chips it forward towards Immobile, who gets past Tom Carroll. It's a great chance for Immobile, but the shot goes wide of the post. So brilliant chance for Villa to take the lead in this game. They missed it, and it was still scoreless here at Villa Park, which would suit us fine really. So long as we didn't lose this game, we'd still be 3 points clear of them coming into the last part of the season. So we just need to make sure we would avoid defeat in this game, and as things stood, we were doing that. Villa need to win, and they hadn't scored yet. But in the 38th minute, Bentaleb goes down the left hand side, keeps on going, swings in across, and Wickham's shot is well saved by Guzan. So Guzan playing very well. Villa's strikers weren't performing very well, so it was still 0-0, and as things stand, I was going to be taking this result and being very happy with it, and Villa just couldn't seem to get themselves the opening goal in this game. In the 45th minute, in injury time in the first half, Bentaleb gets on the ball, swings in across from the left flank in towards the head of Connor Wickham, and he puts the ball past Guzan, and finally he is beaten, and it's Villa 0, Spurs 1. So as I said, in a game where Villa had to win, they were losing, and if we were going to continue with this scoreline, and if we were going to win this game, we would open up a 6-point gap in the race for the top 4. So that would be a crucial win for us here. And the 50th minute, Villa give the ball away again. Wickham wins it and finds Koulibaly. He rolls it through to Townsend. Great chance here, and unfortunately for, I think it might have been Kieran Clark there, unfortunately for Villa anyway, as Townsend goes to chip Brad Guzan, he makes the save, but it deflects off the Villa defender and goes into the empty net. So Townsend claims it, but it's certainly not his goal. That was definitely going to get taken off him in the dubious goals panel, because you can see there he chips the shot, Guzan makes the save, but it deflects off the defender. I think it was Kieran Clark anyway, and it goes into the empty net. So just such bad luck for Villa, but I didn't really care. I was very pleased we would be taking the lead by 2-0. Not taking the lead, by getting a 2-goal cushion, I should say. It's 2-0, and as things stood, Villa in a game where they had to win were going to be losing it, and that 6-point gap between 5th and 4th was going to look very good for us indeed. But straight from kickoff, Villa get the ball with Burke here and play the ball out wide towards Fabinho. Down the right hand side, he takes on Bentaleb and beats him. Keeps on going, swings in across, picks out Immobile at the far post, and it's a very good header by Villa's number 20, and he makes it Villa 1, Spurs 2. So Villa back in the game, and they knew they weren't going to win it, so they'd have to salvage some pride and make sure that they'd at least take a point off us here, or take 2 points off us, I should say. And it was still 2-1. In the 77th minute, Towns gets on the ball, fake shots around his man, chips it through towards Tom Carroll. Carroll finds John Joe Anderson. Here's his chance to seal the game, but unfortunately Guzan makes another good save. So Villa only had really one good performer in this game, and that was Brad Brad Guzan. It was 2-1 though, and the game looked as though it was going to be ours. And in the 86th minute, Koulibaly gets past Laut and crosses the ball in. It goes up in the air, and Anderson's header once again is brilliantly saved by Brad Guzan. So still Villa 1, Spurs 2. But in the 90th minute here, Villa were looking for that 90th goal. Weimann got onto it, Sissoko came forward, but what a block by Chiriches. Fantastic piece of defending, and from that we went on a counter. Bentaleb rolled it through to John Joe Anderson. He didn't have the pace or the stamina, so I had to get past Deeney with some skill, because he just didn't have the pace, and eventually Silla is pulling his shirt, and the referee gives us a free kick in the 90th minute. So a free kick and a chance for us to seal the game. John Joe Anderson crosses the ball into the box. Bentaleb wins the header, puts it past Guzan, and it's Aston Villa 1, Spurs 3, and in a big battle for the top 4, probably the biggest game in the race for the top 4 for the rest of the season. It's Aston Villa 1, Spurs 3, and that's how it finishes. So yeah, as I said, I think this probably was the biggest game in the race for the top 4. This was probably Aston Villa's best chance of getting one up on us and really sort of beginning to show they can qualify for the Champions League. And unfortunately, they did not turn up. Brad Guzan was the only one that deserved a good pat on the back come the end of the game. We won the game by 3-1. We've opened up a 6-point gap between 4th and 5th, and straight after that, it was no real surprise to see the Spurs board come to us and say, on behalf of the board, I want to acknowledge all the positive changes and the dedication we've seen from you bringing to the club. So we know you've had a lot of pressure and speculation, but we want to reassure you that there's no one better to continue the Spurs legacy than you. So yeah, the Spurs board are happy. Daniel Levy's a lot happier now, and as I said, after that game against PSG where we lost by 4-1, there was no reason why Daniel Levy couldn't have looked at us and said, sorry, we haven't performed, so you're getting out of the club. But thankfully, after a few good results on the trot, we have certainly got ourselves in the good books of Mr. Levy again, and we are looking very good on our promise to make the top 4, and of course, hopefully win the FA Cup. But we do take on Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final here at Wembley, so we take on our bitter rivals at Wembley, and in the other semi-final leg, Stoke beat Middlesbrough by 3-0. So the winner of this tie would face Stoke City, who are a championship side on the game, believe it or not. So both of those sides are in the championship, so whoever gets through this semi-final, I don't mean to be too disrespectful to the sides, but they'll probably have a very strong chance of winning it. So we take on Arsenal. It was going to be a very important game. It was going to be a big game for us as well, and this game really could make Daniel Levy once again doubt whether we're the right man to manage Spurs. But the first chance will come in the 23rd minute, and unfortunately Wojciech Szczesny made a very good save there to keep the score at 0-0 after Sturridge broke free. Still 0-0 in the 31st minute though. Carrasco finds Welbeck down the left hand side here, really good chance, gets past Jack Wilshere, keeps holding the ball, chips it through, Draxler gets onto the ball, but again Szczesny makes a great save, then the follow-up shot is blocked and Arsenal clear the ball away. So very good couple of saves by Szczesny. In the 33rd minute, Carrasco goes down the right hand side, takes it past Monreal and shoots, but again Szczesny makes a great save and Lamella's shot goes wide of the post. So Szczesny trying to perform just as well as Guzan did in midweek. Really good opening from the Polish goalkeeper there, a couple of very good saves, and the score is still Spurs 0, Arsenal 0 here in this semi-final. But in the 36th minute, we give the ball to Lloris, our goalkeeper, in his area, and he plays the ball back towards Leao Gutierrez. Gutierrez fake shots around Ozil and picks out Fernando. Fernando plays a superb through ball to Julian Draxler. He's got Sturridge with him, Welbeck with him, sorry, he's one-on-one, but he rounds the goalkeeper and he gets a huge slice of luck because it deflects off Mikel and goes in to the back of the net. So Spurs 1, Arsenal 0. Draxler claims that I thought I messed it up, but thankfully I didn't. I could have sweated it, but I don't like scoring sweat goals, so I just about managed to keep my composure and finish it, and Draxler makes it Spurs 1, Arsenal 0. So we're in front in this game. In the 41st minute though, Aaron Ramsey almost made it 1-1. Wellington Silva's cross from the free kick was headed by the Welshman, but it just went wide of the post. That was it for the first half. In the second half, in the 66th minute, Ozil gets past Gutierrez to cross the ball in, and Mandzukic, who came off the bench, made it Spurs 1, Arsenal 1. So that was my fault there. I lunged in with Gutierrez. I thought he was going to keep on dribbling. He didn't. He stopped the ball, he crossed it in, and Mandzukic made it Spurs 1, Arsenal 1. So Arsenal back on level terms here. In the 72nd minute, Monreal gives the ball away as Fernando intercepts. He rolls the ball forward to Daniel Sturridge. Great chance for us. Ronaldo trots past Mikel, but Szczesny pulls off a fantastic save on the one-on-one, and it is still scored. It's still level here at 1-1. So still equal here as we were closing out the game. In the 88th minute, the last chance of the game would fall to us. Eric Lamela goes down the left-hand side, beats Kieran Gibbs, keeps on going, rolls it through. Danny Welbeck with a first-time strike. Once again, Szczesny makes a great save. It falls to Brian Carrasco though, and his shot just goes wide. So we just couldn't find that second goal. We just couldn't put ourselves back in the lead in this game. And as Carrasco's shot goes wide, it was the last chance of the 90 minutes. and that would signal that we would have another 30 minutes to play in extra time. So with so many games coming thick and fast, we really could have done without extra time, to be honest, but unfortunately we'd have to play it as the score was level after 90 minutes. The first chance will come in the 92nd minute. Daniel Sturridge finds Draxler, who rolls it through to Nelson Oliveira, plays a great ball back to Daniel Sturridge, who takes the first touch and then levers it to the far corner, and Sturridge makes it Spurs 2, Arsenal 1. So 94 minutes played, and we do retake the lead here as Daniel Sturridge gives us the goal, and it's Spurs 2, Arsenal 1. So a big goal for us here in our hunt for the FA Cup. And as I said, I think whatever side won this semi-final would probably have a very good chance of winning the final, because of course we'll be taking on a championship side, and I was very pleased that we did take the lead. And in the 107th minute, the last chance would fall to Arsenal here to try and get themselves back on level terms, but Lloris made a very good save, and Michael Dawson, who came off the bench, made a good block there and put the ball out for a corner, and the game would finish Spurs 2, Arsenal 1. So we are through to the FA Cup final. It will be our first final of the season here with Spurs, and I'm very pleased with that as well, because of course the FA Cup is in our objectives. We've beaten our bitter rivals on our way to reaching the final. We will be taking on Stoke City, and of course you'll see in a minute they are a championship side, so we have a very big chance of winning this FA Cup, and this could be our first of hopefully 2 trophies come the end of the year. And if we can complete all our objectives, win the FA Cup, win the Europa League and qualify for the top 4, we'll definitely be keeping our job. And as things stand, we are on course to do one of those. Of course, win the FA Cup. After that win against Arsenal, we're through to the finals to take on Stoke City, who, as you can see, are a championship side. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave likes, it's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow afternoon.